as kids, we always say stuff like, "Oh, when we grow up, we're gonna parent our kids differently, this and that." Like sometimes when your parents do something negative, you're like, "Oh, I'm never gonna treat my kid like that." But
Mm.
inevitably, we always end up being like our parents and somehow. So like you're both fathers. So how has your experience with your parents affected the way you parent your current children?
Damn, we've gone into space, huh? Jeez. You know what?
You say how was how was the experience? What am I gonna do, Lord? Okay. How was the experience with our fathers? Like how do we kind of take from that?
And how did it shape our parenting styles?
Disclaimer: both of we are fathers,
Yeah,
and we had fathers. Both of our fathers have passed away.
passed away. Yeah.
So start talking.
You know what? You know me. I got stories galore.
Yeah.
But yeah. You know what's crazy?
When your dad passed away? What year?
2005.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so early into the
20 years ago?
Yeah, early into the shop, man.
That was 20 years ago?
20 years ago.
Holy cow.
20 years ago, and it was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Because
man.
and this is what I would say for all young people out there. Appreciate what you got. Because it sounds so cliche to say.
Yeah.
But damn.
Yo.
Appreciate
You almost can't say it. No one gets it.
No one
gets
gets
too late.
it, man.
No one gets it until it's too late.
I remember, I mean, I don't always want to quote someone that's, on the other side of crazy, but Biggie said, "I don't wish death on anybody because you can't bring anybody back.
Right.
You can't bring anything back. So
it's a one-way ticket, man.
It's a one-way ticket. So either take the lumps with the journey and understand that it's seasonal. You're gonna have a better time. But with my dad, man, he's whew. First of all, like him even trusting us to do this was crazy.
Mm.
Like my dad's staunch man on, listen, you go work at the bank and you do that and you behave. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And then when we decided to do this, he still was encouraging. You know what I mean?
That's amazing. Especially for parents of that time.
Yeah I was shocked. And when I look back at it, I'm like, my dad, damn, he was a pretty good guy. And I'm reminded every time I go to church, there's a older crowd, and they're like, your father was such a good man.
Mm.
And I'm like, I'm all right too. But he was like, he's all right. I'll give you a story. I was 9, and my mom had just passed away.
Yeah.
Right. And so 9 years old, you lost a person that was crucial in your upbringing. You saw every day, whatever, and all of a sudden it's gone. So now my dad, I never really thought about it, but I go, my dad lost his partner.
Yep.
Right. And so he's hurting, but he has to take on fatherly duties regardless.
He has to keep
right?
going, yeah.
Right. And I never think about who he is as a man. Like he's probably like, man, this is extra work. I don't know this journey. I don't know whatever. So I was acting up. I remember I was 9 years old and I came home at like 1 o'clock in the morning one time, and my aunt was livid. She's like, "What the? You can't be doing this. What's wrong with this?" And my dad was like, "Just calm down. He's just going through something. Who knows how to handle that?"
Yeah.
So we were going to a church picnic, right? And I was doing some silly stuff like throughout the year. And I was going to church. We were going to church picnic, but before we were there, I'm upstairs playing with matches in the house, and we had a box spring bed that had cotton in it. So
oh Lord,
I was taking the cotton out and I was lighting it on fire.
Yeah, of course.
And balls of fire it just flames up, it goes down. And then all of a sudden, I took out some more. I'm like, bro, I took out so much. And then all of a sudden I lit it, and the flame jumped onto the bed. It literally just jumped. I'm like, what? So now I'm like, oh my goodness. At this point, I'm like, All right. So I run down the stairs. The alarm goes off now. And I just, I'm yelling to my dad. I'm like, Dad, just beat me. Beat me now. Beat me. And he's like, what? What's going on? What's going on? Run upstairs.
Wait a second. Oh my
I
god!
deserved it. I knew I deserved it, bro.
You knew what you did was so bad.
Yeah.
That you were demanding to get
Demanding.
beaten. Just start the beating now. That's funny.
I was like, yo, start it now. And my dad was like, well, get out the way. And then we ran upstairs, him and Pauline and myself. We just got buckets and we kept pouring water on this thing. The bed is charred. The room is full of soot, sorry. And I'm like, wow. So we clean up everything. And then my dad brings me into his room, and he goes, okay. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, all right, let the beating begin. And he looks at me and he goes, okay, you know what you did was wrong? And I go, yes, Daddy. And he goes, okay, let's pray. And I'm like, what? So we got on our knees.
And then he beat you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Bro.
That would be the best. That would be the best. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
What happened?
But you're right. Because we're praying on our knees.
Oh my
We're
god.
praying, and my eyes are kind of like, and when I saw this guy not doing anything, I closed my eyes for the rest of the prayer, and we prayed, I wouldn't do these things again.
Yeah.
And boom. Fast forward, my son did something crazy, and he moved the car, cracked my bike, and bro, I was about to give him the beating, bro. I wanted to, but then
You remembered?
no, not even remembered. I told them my story.
Yeah.
I told the kids my story. So then all of a sudden, Luke pretty much saved his brother, huh? 'Cause he goes, Ezra asked me on the phone, he's like, Daddy, are you going to give me a beating? And all of a sudden you hear Luke in the background go, no, he's not going to give you a beating because when Daddy tried to burn down the house, his dad didn't beat him. And I was like, shaped. Just like that. I go, Ezra, just as long as you're okay, listen, we're going to pray about when you get home. But listen, you can't. And he's never done anything like that again.
Yeah.
Right? So I know that experience, which they say is the wisdom, carried out.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I've gotten so much. That's just one, but I've gotten so many things that have shaped the way that I deal with my children.
Yeah, yeah.
Mercy is one of them, bro. Holy cow.
You ever find yourself on the opposite end? You ever catch yourself doing something or saying something to your kids that you know was done to you and you didn't like it, but you still carried it on, you passed it on? Because that exact thing happened to me. It happened to me one time, and I wish I could remember what it was. I wish I could remember what I said. But it was one of my kids, I can't remember which one it was. They were doing something, and I said something to them, and as soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, what? It's like I could hear my dad speaking to me. And I said to them, but I felt what it felt like when he said to me right away. And I remember I just left the room and I took a breather. I'm like, I can't believe, like, now I understand what they say when people say, you do as you were taught, right? Or what you see, you carry on, you do it, regardless of it being good or bad.
Yeah,
you got to pray that you have held on to, and you carry on the good things that you saw, because just as much as you can pass that on, all those bad things, even if you hated them, you can also pass those things on too, because it's your nature, it's instinct, right? So in that moment, instinctively, I reverted to something that my dad would have said, right? And I just said it, not realizing that that's not the right thing to say. Or it didn't make me feel good. And I even told myself, oh, I would never say stuff like that. But I did that one time, and I've experienced both, where seeing the good things that I liked or the good things that he did, I saw that and I always said, okay, I'm going to make sure I do that. Like, for example, I'm not going to say which one of my kids said to me that when they grow up, they like what they want to do. They want to have a big mansion and all this kind of stuff. And they kind of just want to be on their own. Right. And I was like, on your own, like no family? No, because they just want to have, their stuff or whatever. Right. Yeah. It was a very singular lifestyle. And I thought to myself, I never thought like that. Like, I don't know if I don't think many men think like this. I don't hear, or unless they don't talk about it, I don't hear men saying that they wanted to be a father or they want to be married or they want to have children. But when I was very young, I just thought that was the pinnacle of life.
Oh, having all those things.
Yes. When I was little, I was like, I'm going to be a husband. I'm going to be a man. I'm going to have a family, a lot of children. I thought that's the win. And that was because of my dad. So even though when I was little, I didn't interact with him a lot. But I always saw him, but it's like you couldn't talk to him. He was always tired or busy, or so I was told. Leave him alone, he's tired. Or he's busy, he's reading this newspaper. So he'd always be in that room in the basement, with
the Toronto Sun.
With a cigarette and the Toronto Sun. And I never wanted to bother him. But I saw and I felt what he was doing for the family, which was providing. He was always present. I see him doing work around the yard, and I thought, "Oh shoot, this is it right."
It's a man.
So when I was very little, that's what I aspired to be. I aspired to be like him, right? Like a family man, and so that shaped me big time. And I still feel that way today. Like I feel successful because of my family, not because of anything else. Really.
What? Okay, so if you went back whatever years and you didn't have a family, right? As opposed to you thinking that you wouldn't be a man if you didn't have one, do you think you could see how men could be isolated and successful?
Without a family?
Without a family? Like without immediate family, like your offspring.
I don't.
And that's crazy.
I don't. I think I don't know how this is going to sound, but I don't think people can reach their full potential unless they do what they were meant to do on this planet.
Ooh.
Which is reproduce and help your fellow man. That's I think that's the only thing we're supposed to do. We're supposed to reproduce, so create your lineage, and we're supposed to help each other.
Did your dad tell you this?
I don't think anyone told me this. I don't think anyone told me this.
Okay.
Maybe someone did, but I don't think anyone told me this. But I've always felt like that's what you're supposed to do. If you're a woman, you're supposed to bear children. That's what you're meant to do. If you're a man, you're supposed to have a family and take care of your family, and make sure they can take care of their family. Like set them up so they have the tools to take care of their family. I don't think anything else is important. And I think if you don't do those things, I honestly believe you're going to be left with an emptiness inside. Doesn't matter how much money you have, how much material things you have. I think you'll be an 80-year-old man sitting down, wishing that you had more children, wishing that you had a family, wishing that you had that network.
You know what's crazy? I'll be honest with you. So this is authentic. When I was, so my parents, they didn't have, on the outside, it looked like they had the best relationship. But on the inside, there was a lot of arguing, right? And I hated that. So I didn't like that. I could pick sides at any point and be like, fine with that person. Like, mom was great, dad was great, whoever I was with. But it was just that when they were together, there was less of that, what you see on TV, where it's like lovey-dovey and slap each other on the butt and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, and it just looked weird.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to get married.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Because you didn't like what you saw.
No, I didn't like what I saw. But what I did see a lot of, and what my parents were okay with, was us watching certain shows. So Different Strokes, right? Adopted family, right? So I was like, you know what? I'll just be rich and adopt kids. I get a housemaid, and that's gonna be it. You know what I mean? I would still feel like I'm giving back to the world. I'm doing my purpose. It's just that I was like, you know what? I specifically said I'm going to adopt 4 kids. God blesses me with 4 kids of my own, and now I have to adopt them again.
You know what's so funny? I remember. Do you remember? I remember you saying that you didn't want to have any children. You just want to be the favorite uncle.
Yeah.
You want to be like, the favorite
Yeah.
uncle. And I saw that in you
Yeah,
too.
yeah, I liked it.
Because I remember when we were younger, I remember you would be eager to take someone else's child.
Malik.
Or
Justin, Josiah, yeah.
Yeah, when our friends started having children,
Kids,
whatever.
yeah.
You were eager to take them. I'm like,
Church, yeah.
the funny thing is I was the opposite. I don't like kids really.
Yeah.
I don't like being around small children. I love my children. And especially when I was younger. So it's so weird. Even though I thought my destiny would be family and children and stuff, I never really liked children or entertaining them. But I always saw in you that you want to be that number one uncle. It's funny when you talk about things that you saw growing up. There's something that I saw growing up that I hated in my family. And I didn't understand it till I was an adult. In the beginning, even though I saw my dad when I was little, being a family man and going to work, never being late for work, super consistent.
That's you though.
I think I've taken that on.
Yeah,
he's super consistent. He was very organized and like disciplined in what he did. And what I appreciated was my mother would always praise him for things that he was good at. She would always say, "Oh, your father doesn't waste money. Your father, if he spends $1, he knows what he spent it on. Your father doesn't make much, but look how much we have." And she would always praise him for that.
Yeah.
And she would always say, like, I don't know how he does it because, I'm making money too, but I tend to spend it, whatever.
Right.
So I appreciated that. But whenever they got into an argument, my mom would say things and, or get loud. And she's more expressive.
Yeah.
Right? Outwardly. And I would be like, and look at my dad,
Yeah.
Like, okay, what you got? And my dad would just say, like that. Wave his hand, walk away, go in the basement. He never, to me, defended himself. And I didn't like that.
Even though he could have.
Even though he could have.
Yeah.
So when I was little, I thought, man, what's wrong with this guy? Like, in my mind, I thought, like, he was weak or soft or like he's letting this woman talk to him like that.
Yeah.
And I hated that. I didn't understand until I was an adult what type of individual you have to be.
Yeah.
Like how strong you have to be.
Oh, that's a strong man, yo.
Strong man.
Holy cow.
I didn't realize till I was an adult and I was in adult situations.
Yo.
And I look back, I was like, wow, he was amazing.
Oh.
He was amazing to have someone saying X, Y, Z to him and walk away or not let it faze him, or stuff like that. And even more respect came later after he passed away. And my mother would say, like, my mother tells me stories and she would divulge some stories about him that I didn't know. Right? Or she would say things like, oh, you think your father's so nice? You think you never hear him say anything to me? when you guys aren't here, he tells me off.
Good for him.
I know what I said, and in my head, I'm like, that's what you're supposed to do.
Wow.
I'm like, that's even more amazing.
Yeah.
That in anger and in times when you're not your best, you still have the mindset and the awareness to know that I'm not going to say this or do this because my son is watching.
Right.
I'm going to save it for later. And my respect level for him went through the roof. And I wish he was still alive so I could
give him the flowers. Yeah, you know what? I was talking to my kids about this the other day. I said, you guys only know me as dad. You guys don't know me as something else. You don't know me as a teenager. You don't know me as friends that do silly stuff. You don't have any clue about that. All you see is the position I'm in, and you think that's the only position I've held my entire life.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in order to get to that position, you go through stages, and the stages shape you. So if you, like you said, I always liked being the fun uncle, right? Bro, if I didn't have that, my kids would have zero fun right now.
Yeah.
Like my kids are spoiled for fun, but they don't get that it came from me wanting to understand how to have a balanced, not just a balanced life, but you're going through pain, but the pendulum has to swing the other way. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, I'm not going to sit in pain for much longer. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to do that. And it doesn't have to be fun that hurts anybody else. It's just for me, like, or for my immediate group. And they don't get that yet because right now social media makes it seem so isolated that a moment happens here and no, not even isolated. They blend it, sorry. So whatever you were yesterday, you are today.
Yeah.
You're never changing. I'm gonna keep repeating it over and over and over again, so you know you're a piece of crap or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I struggle, bro. I struggle being a dad. Like my daughter, she she has volleyball practice,
Yeah.
right? And I tell her, you're not going to be good at volleyball going to volleyball practice and doing the work there. You have to do work on your own. I go, that's what I'm here for. So we're going to wake up. We're going to have those mornings where it's struggling and it's not going to be good. But then when you get to practice now, you're going to be better.
Yeah.
Right? When we were doing that, she was getting better. So we would go to Booster Juice after volleyball practices because I'm rewarding the effort. When she stopped doing it, I don't want to give her it.
Okay.
But she's looking at me like, but Dad, this is our time together. And I'm like, I want to tell her, screw your time, man. You don't have a clue. I want to say that, but I have to say it in a way that responsible parent says, babe, you didn't put in the effort today. But the truth is, I want to say you sucked today. You stunk it up. Your effort was on zero. I almost don't want you, you know what I mean? Like you want to go the full distance just to show your anger and your angst about what it is they are doing. But is that parenting?
Do you think it's possible for your children to ever really know who you are?
No. Never.
Never? Or just when they're children?
When I'm dead, they're gonna realize who I was.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna force them to have to remember any and everything that made them who they are today. And it happens with everybody. Because there are people that can rationalize a moment or things that are going through with their family, but there's gonna be this, like right now, I'm still thinking about things that my dad talked about when I was a kid. The wisest man on the planet, Solomon, in his last years, was talking about his dad, what his dad told him, and he messed up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the realization is that we have to try as much as possible. Not even try. We have to do as much as possible in the moment.
Yeah.
Take care of those ill-reserved feelings. Take care of the resentment, and understand that dads, and this is the thing that sucks, dads specifically are the only group out of the two that risk not being liked by their children. So we're already on the receiving end of everything that could come negative. But mama's forever. She has 2 birthdays. Right? And all that stuff. But dads, we risk being not liked by the same people that we want to shape to be better than us.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Tell me if you think I'm wrong. I think the only way I think you can combat that, like having your children know who you are, I've always believed that they need to know what you've done, right? And in comparing to my dad, my children aren't going to have to pry things out of me about me. What I'm trying to do is I tell them my story when I think it's age appropriate. As my children get older, when they reach certain ages, I tell them things that I've done, mistakes that I've made, because it's tricky. I don't want to tell them something that I did that was probably negative when they're too young, because then the lesson might be lost, right? They might think it's something that they can do now or whatever. But I usually try to equate it with if you're 10, when I was 10, this is something I kind of did, type of thing. So I honestly can't remember what it was, but on one of our recent road trip with Haven, driving her back to school, my daughter. I love that drive, by the way, because
peaceful.
It's the only time that it's just me and her. We get to talk.
Nice.
And it's only me and her. It's the only time. And a lot of time might be quiet, but she'll say something, I'll say something. And we started talking, and something hit me. I'm like, she's 20 years old. I think I can drop this one on her. We started talking about something, and her eyes were like, Dad, you did that?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. I go, what? Oh, we got to your school. Okay, we got to talk about it. We'll talk more in the fall or in the summer when you're coming back. But that made me feel good because I started to realize, oh, wow, she doesn't know who I am.
No.
And they need to know. They need to know because kids need to know where they came from. So even if they're never going to 100% understand who their father was, you got to give them as many stories as you can. But I think it just has to be age appropriate. When your kid's 5, you can't be reaming off your whole life and all the bad things you did and blah blah. They're not gonna get it. But especially as they get older and they reach adulthood, unleash it, man. Unleash it, because you could tell them everything that you did, all the bad stuff, all the mistakes. Show them how you came out of it, what you learned from it. Because I truly believe that this DNA, I think your kids will make the same mistakes you made. Or they at least are prone to it. You know, if you had a problem with alcohol, tell them how you got into it, how you got out of it, what happened, because they might be faced one day with that drink, and they got to know that this ain't really for me because my dad couldn't handle it. Maybe I might not be able to handle it. I really think there's something to that, and I parent thinking about that. I think about what I didn't get to know from my dad, and I wish I talked to him more. Because he wasn't one to divulge information. You know, you had to pry things out of him. Like maybe a lot of our parents from that age group, they didn't really want to tell you that much. And how else you gonna learn about yourself if you don't know the people in your past?
Well, that's the thing. Like, as this guy's still a human being, and he still has pride. He still has respect for himself. He still has all these things. So
yeah.
If I care about what you think about me, right? So you're my son, right? And I care about what you think about me. Even if I'm still, trying to make sure that you become the best person, I don't want you to know all my darkest secrets.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to tell you everything for sure.
Yeah.
But those dark secrets, bro, those are things that help. I'll give you a story. I was watching this podcast. This gentleman, this pastor, short guy, he was talking about how he had addictions to. Didn't know why.
This is a common thing. Not Kirk Franklin. Not
not just Kirk Franklin, right? He's addicted to, and he finds out that he was molested.
Oh shoot!
Okay, by an uncle. All of a sudden, his brother, no. His mom comes home, sees him doing this thing. All of a sudden, brother comes home. Mom is crying. She's like, I can't believe I've seen this. She then says, hey, look, you know what? We need to tell your father. Comes to find out, the brother, and the dad, everybody had these addictions. And they were all addicted.
Wow.
Yes. So it's crazy because you're like, when do you bring that up?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's such a tragic event in a family's lineage that you're like, I'd rather forget it and pray over it and hope that everything goes away, right? It's struggles.
It's not gonna be perfect.
It's not gonna be perfect.
But man, it's not gonna be perfect, and you're gonna miss some cues.
Yeah.
You're gonna talk about some things too late. But I mean, I think that's the best that we could do is try.
You gotta put in the effort, man.
But shoot, man. And I think okay, Steve Harvey? Steve Harvey said it. He was on the Pivot. And he said that a man's father in your life, your father is the only man that you'll ever meet that 100% deep down truly wants you to be better than him.
Mm-hmm.
You have friends, cousins, brothers, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and they wish good for you. They want you to win.
Mm-hmm.
But if it came down to who do you want to be better,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to choose yourself
Yeah.
to be better. Your father's the only person who wants you to be better than him, the only man ever in your life. And when he said that, I was like, oh my gosh, I think that's right. I think that's accurate.
It's true.
That was so powerful. Like hearing that, I was like, it made me think about my dad. It made me think about
Yo, man. Yo, hold it together, damn it. Yo.
Okay. It made me think about my dad and how he might have seen me, things that he probably said to me,
Yeah.
where they were coming from, what they really meant. Everything. When I heard that, everything got clear.
Yeah.
It made me think of my sons. Because I thought, okay, is that true? Let me think about my sons. Yeah.
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 Damn. All three of them want better than me.
Yeah.
I want. I failed if they don't become better than me.
Mhm.
They have to be better than me. They have to be. That's my job.
Yeah.
So for them to be better, all my dirt in the bag, I gotta sprinkle it out so they can see it.
Oh, shoot.
I gotta sprinkle it out so they can see it when it's age appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta tell them how I got into it
Mm-hmm.
and how I got out of it. And if I didn't get out of it, that's even more important because they got to be able to see that, hey, like this is what it is. And I hope and pray that I can get to that point and do that with all of them before my time's up.
Before your time is up.